Busy is good. Welcome
Yeah.
to Section 31, episode number 376. I'm Dan Hammond.
And I'm Rogue Schindler.
This week, we've both watched an episode of the Orville, so we'll talk about that. We've been playing Fleet Command. There's been some incidents. We'll talk about that. Things have happened on the 1E side, on the continuing committee site. Big news. And everyone should vote. So where do you want to start?
Well, I just finished watching it, so we could talk about the Orville right away.
All right, the Orville. Happy refrain.
Something like that.
Yeah, I had to think of the lyrics.
No.
This had some of the best, I think, so far. In my opinion, I love the science fictiony parts. They had the full orchestra in the shuttle bay for a concert.
That was really cool. I
was reading somewhere they thought that the actual conductor was the actual conductor for the person who does the theme for this show.
Oh, okay. I read the credits and was like, I don't recognize that name, but he clearly, like, his acting was a little disjointed, as if he was a non-actor guesting, trying to act. And I'm like, he must be the actual conductor of something, and this is an actual symphony, obviously. So that makes a lot of sense.
It was great. That whole scene was fantastic. I wanted to know if they were really playing, if that was a nice sound stage, if that conductor was actually conducting, because I have no idea. As someone who's not musically trained, I just don't know.
Yes, I feel like the conductor was clearly conducting. I don't know if that's what he was conducting, but they were clearly playing. And I just, of all the things that happened in this episode, my favorite was that, like, I can't believe nobody ever thought to just have this big event on the holodeck, or not on the holodeck, on the shuttle bay deck, with the warp going on behind them as they play. It was amazing. That was such a great effect. That was the highlight.
I love the idea of this ship full of, the orchestra that just tours around playing on ships.
Yeah,
right.
They're like the USO of the Union.
Yeah, that was great. And at the concert, funniest bit of the whole, because we got the whole side, the B plot, right? Is Bortus's mustache.
Such as it was like hardly even a B plot.
C plot, D plot, whatever.
C plot, yeah. A plot took up a lot of time.
Yeah. But when he stood there, he and his husband are arguing about it, and his son says, "I like it." That smug looky.
Yes, that was pretty awesome.
That was fantastic. All right, so what did you think about the rest, the main story here?
Itchy. It was interesting. I kind of felt like this was ground we've already covered. We've talked about the Orville being a lot like TNG, and so far they haven't really rehashed anything. They've just kind of done it in the same style. I think this was really the first time that we really came like head on at a pretty significantly, I don't want to say cloned, but the basics of the episode was the same. We've had Data and Jenna Desora, teaching an android to love episode. Obviously it finished differently than this one did. But I liked that they, it was a lot more casual. Data's approach was all very clinical, much like Isaac's, but we got a lot less of like the other side of that in the TNG episode. So I think, it was cool that we got both sides of the story. I very much liked that it was clearly a long time coming.
Yeah, right. I mean, that was an issue with TNG, right? You'd have this episode where something interesting happens. You get this character, perhaps development, and at the end of the episode, everything's back the way it was, right? That's
right.
Clearly not the case here.
No, they definitely.
For a while.
Yeah, they deliberately dropped the breadcrumbs for this for several episodes, just little scenes, and I really like that. That was really cool to have that lead in, that character building moments to lead into the story instead of having it kind of like come out of left field, or do the more TNG style of, hey, remember about a year ago last season when we crashed? Well, I kind of think I'm in love with Isaac now,
Right.
which was a little bit, that was really the TNG side version of having continuity.
Or a special guest star that appears for just that episode. I mean,
Right.
we got a special guest star that appeared for 2 episodes that kind of filled this out for the captain, a couple episodes ago. But
Right.
even then, we got her. That was part of the plot, is picking her up the first episode, the first show we saw in the series premiere, I think, or the season premiere. We got them meeting for drinks at the very end, and then a couple episodes later, that we got the relationship. This time, like you said, it's been going on for quite a while. They've really set this up nicely. And contrary to the TNG, they think it worked, right?
Yeah.
The robot was taught to love.
It was interesting, and I like the way they went it. It was still a little technologically hand wavy. Subroutine, something function better, but yeah, I feel better. But it was cute. Again, most of my biggest beefs with the episode were all like the non-Star Trek things. Like, this is not what would happen, or this is not how they would do. But it's not, this isn't Starfleet, so it's okay. And then the science, like, I love that he flipped the table when she said, flip the tables. That was hilarious. But then, like, they brought her food to eat, and then he flips the table, and then he resets the table, and the food is there. It's like, so either the food is holographic and she's not going to be able to eat it, or there's some funky thing where they can eat the holographic food and that's okay in this universe.
It's synthesized food. It probably just resynthesized it there. If we learned anything from like Voyager, and I guess some instances of TNG, and that must be a lot of power draw for their awesome holodecks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently it can rain on the bridge.
I saw a tweet from someone on the crew that had a picture of, I think it was Bortus and new security girl whose name I can't remember.
Yeah.
Sitting in front of a green screen, just getting rained on. Just full effect. It was great. That was a great scene. I was unexpected. There was not much in this episode that I saw coming, or was unhappy about. I love the whole thing, start to finish. It was great.
I was disappointed that he did not start dancing. I really wanted him to start dancing on the bridge when Sing in the Rain came on.
Fair enough.
I liked it, but I would have loved it if that had happened. Like, it's like he turns on the music, he starts the rain, and he's like confessing, and like either he like takes her and starts dancing, or just like starts dancing around, imitating. I guess they didn't watch the movie, so it's not something he would have like seen and then recreated. Because I feel like if that's what had happened, then that would have been inexcusable.
Yes, certainly.
But yeah, that was mentally, I was like, oh.
I like that the actor behind the mask got to actually play himself ish.
Yeah, that was cool.
And Norm Macdonald showing up, which was great.
Yeah, I'm like, there is no reason for this scene other than they wanted to have Norm Macdonald be able to show up.
No, it's perfect for his character because he's been going after the doctors. Well, you like the
yeah. Are you kidding
here
me?
I am. Come back with that. That was fantastic.
What did I say?
That was great. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, that was great. Like I said, I went on to looking around for reviews, and other than what you mentioned, it's kind of very similar to the TNG episode with Data. I've not come across any poor reviews of it, but Clearly, I liked it better than you did.
Yeah, I thought it was a little slow. There was, as I mentioned, when we finally got to the planet stars or planets or whatever they're looking at, the binary star system, I was like, oh man, or was there finally a B plot? Like it just felt like it was all that storyline, and I don't know, they overplayed it, or if they did a little too much. I know. I felt like there could have been something else breaking it up there. I love the bowling alley. That was a cool random touch.
The bowling alley, the two guys racing up to the bridge. That's awesome.
Yes, that was hilarious.
And Isaac in in his underwear trying to break up with the doctor.
Oh my god!
Was just it was very well done. It was almost cringy, but yeah, that's about
yeah.
Yeah.
I did not. I really expected a scene with the doctor and Lamar. Like, you told him to do what?
Yes.
Especially after the breakup. But again, that would have been pretty predictable, and they didn't go that route. So, yeah, good episode. It was fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next one. I did not. I was every other thing I looked at over the entire weekend was, hey, CBS online, you can watch Super Bowl, and then you can go watch Star Trek. And I thought, yeah, I could do that, and then I didn't, and kind of glad I didn't apparently waste time watching the game because it was pretty terrible.
Yeah.
Yay. So it's going to be another week. We'll see how this weekend goes. We'll shoot for Discovery next time.
All right. Well, then I'm glad I gambled, because I only had one time to watch one episode.
You chose wisely.
And I really, really wanted to watch Disco.
But you chose the one I already paid for, so that was the one I've already seen.
But I chose the one that you were more likely to have been caught up on. So
yeah, certainly.
We can talk about it.
All right. And there's enough, honestly, there's enough Discovery accumulated now that I'd like to actually sit down and watch a few episodes. So, you know what? Next week I'm going to be traveling, so we probably won't be able to do a show. So we've got 2 weeks for me to catch up, and I'll catch up by
all right.
Back. Sound good?
That'll be 5 episodes by then. So
perfect.
We'll have a good third of a season, I guess. Yeah.
Excellent.
Maybe we'll have seen Spock by then.
That's amusing. All right. Shall we talk about the Star Trek game?
Yeah.
All right. So we're playing Fleet Command.
Oh, that Star Trek game.
I think you mentioned earlier, right before we started, that you finally got hit. You were level 15, so your base can get hit. You've been attacked.
Yeah, my level 17 base got attacked. I'm actually like 3 upgrades away from having everything at level 17, which means I'm finally going to have to make the push and go to 18. But yeah, I got hit, and I went to log in, and hey, I won. So they didn't steal anything from me, and I pummeled somebody who attacked me. So I promptly repaired myself on the off chance that they were to come and act, but I have not seen any repercussions. I got all 3 of my guns up to 17 now.
Nice. I got attacked. My miners all got hit by a rival alliance, and then my base got hit, and it was pretty silly because I have 0 resources all the time because I'm always just resource poor. If I have to build something, I've got to go. So they got nothing. It was pretty much a couple thousand tritanium to repair, and that was about it. It was kind of silly. But I'm up to 18. Everything with the save 1 or 2 things is up to 18, so I'm on the brink of 19.
Nice.
Yeah, it's getting time consuming. I think my next upgrade is 2 days for the ops, but I've finally got enough of all the things you have to mine and then process and hope you roll well on the random number generator, so you get the uncommon versions of everything.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So,
I have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
How many of the gold researches do you have? If you go in the research Pain. There's like these handful that I've been ignoring from the beginning because they clearly look like, okay, these are the ones you can only have enough resources to do if you buy, you know, resources or whatever. But I finally did enough mining to get over my max and hit the first one. And that was pretty beefy to get that double damage.
I have prime damage. I same as you.
Prime,
eventually, I had enough that I could buy it. And there's another one that I got. I got
prime resources.
Prime resources, yeah.
Yeah.
So those are the only two that you can get without having 3-star uncommon items, which I can't even process yet. So I'm currently like next level, maybe 2 levels from now, I'll be able to process that. So I got the ones that I mean, you can't even instant the other ones. I don't know how you would get those. Maybe at higher level purchase packages, you start getting the 3-star stuff.
Possible.
But yeah, I've got the ones that seemed impossible when we started, and now are, oh yeah, I can afford that. Yeah, as everything becomes orders of magnitude, you know, bigger.
Yeah, exactly. Like, all right, sure. But
are you participating in the event?
You know, I gotta admit, I get really confused by the events in this game. It does not. I'm so used to the way events run in other games, where they're like, you know, the timelines. Events start on Thursday and they finish on Monday morning, and then there's nothing else. You know, and in the other game I was running, it was the same thing. They had, you know, weekly events, but they were on specific days. And this seems like there's always 3 events happening at once, and they last 6 hours, and they're like research events. And I'm like, I can't do. There's not a single research thing I can do in 6 hours.
No, I found that the ship upgrade, the research, the personnel upgrade, and the station upgrade, the ones that are kind of like cycling through all the time.
Yeah.
If I get excuse me, if I get lost my voice.
So you have to get lucky and cycle them in a specific order. Because my problem with that has been I keep all of the officers that I can level maxed out at once. I keep all of my ships that I can level maxed out. And so when it comes time to do this stuff, I don't have the resources available to do it, or not even the resources. Is everything I have is already leveled, and so I have nowhere to go.
So as I was trying to say, I only oh man, it's gone. What did I do? I didn't do any teaching today either. I don't know what happened. I only get those if I get lucky, and it happens to pop when it's on. But there's been rolling events for your entire alliance that I've been doing. So there's an alliance Assault of Glory solo event, gets you points for the monthly alliance leaderboard event. So that one's ending in 12 hours or so. So there's only one more kind of cycle through. And right now it happens to be my favorite. We've done PV player versus player, which was terrible. It just meant that no one harvested anymore, and everyone just bubbled up and hid. The one previous to this was just level up your base as much as possible and try to get as many points, which you do anyway. So I don't know why that was weird, but
yeah.
The last one previous to this was the North Star event, where you just had to go out and mine every day, and if you got the right mining stuff, you get more plans for the North Star. Didn't quite get enough for that. But this one is my favorite, and it's been going on for a couple of days. It's just player versus hostiles. So you just go out and just blow up as many bad guys as you can. And the more the harder they are above your roll. So like right now my guys are 18. If I'm trying to find these 22s that are the right, rock paper scissors, so I can take them out.
Sure.
And usually I can get about 2 or 3 of them, and then I got to go repair. So.
Oh, I had not thought about that aspect of it.
Yeah. So there are plenty of daily quests that allow that where you got to attack things anyway. So this rolls right into that. I've been having a good time, and my group is currently at rank 10, and it's like rank 1 gets a lot of stuff, 2 and 3 get a lot of stuff, and then 4 through 10 get something. So we're trying our hardest to stay in there, but we've had a lot of attrition in our alliance. I'm thinking about jumping ship. We'll see how it goes.
So you need to go in. Okay, I hadn't thought about that. So if you go in and scan the hostiles, you can find out what type of ship they are.
Yep.
And then attack with the right kind of ship.
So each system has usually one, sometimes two types of enemies, and then the range, the level range is whatever the level of the system is, plus or minus one.
Okay, I had noticed that.
So you can find the type you want and the system you want. And right now, this level 21 Sorneal system has 20, 21, and 22, and I'm scanning around and all the 21s and 22s are gone. It's just a bunch of 20s right now because everyone's already picked them off. But every time something dies, another one regenerates, so it's probably random. So if I'm just sitting here waiting for something to show up, usually I'll just start picking off the low 20s that don't do a lot of damage and hope a 22 shows up, and then I get some points and
wow,
and bring it back. It's been fun. It's been keeping me busy, that's for sure. And one of the resources you get as part of your daily quests is a speed up repairs, and I had like over 100, and this has certainly been a way of me using them up because I don't have any left.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah,
I don't know. I kept trying to do that. I've been really rough trying to find ship parts recently, even attacking hostiles. So maybe I just need to be attacking the right level hostiles so that I can hang in a fight longer and attack more of them before I have to go repair.
Yeah. I try to get, it turns into farming the right hostile for the right parts and the right level. But anyway, it has also been eating lots of cycles of memory on my phone and keeping me busy while I'm waiting for robots to run and things like that. So it's been fun.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. The other game, the game we're actually here to talk about, the continuing committee.
Star Trek Timelines.
That's right. No. What have I got on the shelf behind me? What was that one where you beam down the planet?
I think it's Expeditions.
Yeah.
Just at the top.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Expeditions. No, not that one. So they severed the link, and 2E cards are no longer legal in first edition OTF.
Yeah, that's been coming a long time. We talked about it. It was even announced like 6 months ago or something that it was coming, so everybody can kind of get used to the idea, but it's here.
All right, so a second ago, I swear I was on this page, and all of the 2E sets were gone, and it was like left and right were almost perfectly balanced. It was great. Even the World Championships were kind of centered with each other down at the bottom. Because there's fewer 1E resources on the resource page than there are 2E resources, so it evened out really nicely. And now all of a sudden, shift refresh.
Oh yeah, it's back.
They're back. All right, 2E cards are back on the menu.
Oh, I see that. Yeah, they would have removed those because they're not. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Well, whatever. I can't remember the last time I used a 2E card, honestly, unless it was trying to exploit something. So, you know.
GD had a bunch in his that Romulan deck that was using all the new stuff.
Interesting.
So I hope he enjoyed that while it lasted.
Maybe that's why he ran it, so he could run it before it ran out.
I think it was all support stuff. It wasn't like anything crucial, but it was probably very helpful. So we'll see how much that trims things down.
Yeah. The other news is there was the period review went through. There was a lot of videos with people talking about their different period of review. The voting is now available. So if you are a member by volunteer or by pay, you should have gotten an email. Make sure you go online, follow the link, check your spam folder because mine was in my spam folder, and follow. Make sure you actually read the questions because there's. Do you not approve this person? It feels like a double negative because so there was. I think it was like, do you want to boot this person out? No. And then the last one was like, hey, Charlie wants to do the 1E brand manager. Do you care? Do you object to this? And so that one had to be yes or something like that. Or anyway, whatever it was worded oddly. And I think I originally voted no on Charlie, and I had to. Glad I went back and changed it because that would have been sad. So anyway, make sure you vote because they need to be a quorum, I'm sure, and that would be a good thing. Right. There was a 1E rules update that had some, I think, teasers for stuff that's coming out in the next 1E set, and the Will of the Collective is going on in the forums right now for a 1E mission as well. So check that out.
That's right.
Anything else going on?
We are trying to schedule a 1E regional. Johnny is making a Herculean effort to get everybody's schedules together and on the same page. I know you and I are problematic at best, but willing. If even though the schedule is weak, so we'll see if that happens. But I would certainly love to get together and play some 1E again at some point. I even have a deck made. So
yeah, I have a deck made as well, but it's at springtime again, where every Saturday and Sunday are spoken for, from morning to afternoon with softball and baseball. So it's gonna be tough, but we'll see what we can do.
So fingers crossed that comes to fruition in some form. We'll have to figure something out.
Yeah.
But I think that's it. I do know some people are starting to look ahead to the summer already. Gen Con badges have gone on sale. The housing rush, which was last week with almost no notice, problematic.
Yeah, not nearly enough fanfare.
But yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. I'm kind of low percentage of attending, but perhaps if I can volunteer for someone that wants to pay for me, I might be able to hop on a plane.
Well, I managed to get a room, but it is not walking distance from the convention center this year because I didn't get the notice that said you had to buy your badge by this time in order to get in the queue. So I got at the end of the queue, but I got a room, and it's cheaper, and it comes with breakfast, so that'll be new.
Oh, yeah.
I won't have the option of just dropping off a bag. It'll be a lift ride over in the morning and a lift ride over in the evening, and the three of us will probably have to coordinate what we're doing a little bit better, but we'll give it a shot. That's for sure. I'm looking forward to it. The time off has been granted, and next I must book flights.
And maybe you'll do it, and you'll find that it's the greatest thing ever. Because I do know I have two friends who they got stuck at the airport a number of years ago, and they were like, "Hey, this is it! I'm paying a third of the hotel price, and granted, I have to pay some of that in Ubering back and forth or whatnot, but aside from that, they seem to really like it. A little bit more planning. It was just you spend all day at the convention center anyway, so
yeah, I mean, I think that's it. It'll be a little more planning, but I think we'll make it work. And we've got last year's spreadsheet to look at to figure out what we want to do for timing on what games we want to try to crash, if we want to try to do random RPGs again. I did have fun playing Star Wars a little bit, even though our game master was not the best, but
yeah.
And we've got that apparently free run of True Dungeon again if we want to try that. So
yeah, that's kind of why I'm even struggling to try and go, because I feel like I'm wasting that free ticket if I don't hit a con where they are, where they're going to be. Yeah.
All right. Well, your signal's breaking up pretty badly, so why don't we call this just about done? Is there anything else we want to chat about before we can?
No, I feel like we covered what we've got. So we've established, since you're going to be traveling next week, we're going to skip. Okay, that's what you were confirming that. Okay, we're going to skip an episode next week. So reconvene in 2 weeks, and we will hopefully be ready to talk some disco. So if you are going to listen and you are planning to watch and you don't want to be spoiled, then you are going to have to catch up with us as well. In the meantime, I'm Sir Rogue.
And I'm Sir Dan.
And I will remind you all to expand your power in the Union.
And I dropped off 40 packages for various requisitions and things in the mail today to end.